University of Islam in Chicago since 2008. He was appointed to his post as the first student national imam of the Nation of Islam by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 2012 as resident imam of Mosque Mariam National Center. He publishes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's Table Talks and was installed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a member of the Nation of Islam's Executive Shura Council in 2016. Your question: how could you please share some of your duties and responsibilities as student national imam of the Nation of Islam? Go right ahead, Brother Sultan.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us. Again, this is Brother Sultan Rahman Muhammad. As a student imam or servant to the Islamic Ummah or community, I assist in guiding the Nation of Islam in the principles and meanings of the Islamic faith and actions according to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Lead the community in prayers and instruct the community in Arabic, the original language of the Holy Quran and our people. Additionally, with a team of researchers and scholars, I also work to preserve and publish the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's Table Talks, recorded originally by my father, a close aide and grandson of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. As a member of the Executive Shura Council, I apply my knowledge of the Holy Quran and way of Muhammad the Prophet, guided by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in a deliberative capacity, my fellow 12 members of the Executive Shura Council. The Executive Shura Council is comprised of a group of men and women who believe in Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the guidance, leadership, and direction of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We were selected by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to govern the affairs of the Nation of Islam based on the foundation for our work found in the Holy Quran, Bible, and in the history of Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, and Moses. God has given us a pattern for governance that we must decide our most important affairs by counsel with each other. The members of this council function as a community of persons who live with one common cause at our root, which is to see the resurrection of our people formed into a nation under the rule and laws of God. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Sister Aisha Muhammad is honored to have been appointed as a member of the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam, registered for going on 43 years in the NOI. Sister Aisha oversees the nation's auditors who are responsible for assisting our people who have been traumatized, abused, and have suffered emotional and or physical pain. Sister Aisha previously served as the Student National MGT and GCC captain, working with the women and girls of the NOI for over 13 years, and brings with her a background in mental health and counseling for more than 35 years. The department that she supervises comprises of men and women trained in assisting others with locating, confronting, and removing the pain of our past so that it will no longer affect our future. This is a process that helps bring up and out of us those things that act as demons that we've buried consciously and unconsciously, so that those things will no longer pull us down, hold us back, or negatively affect us going into the future. Greetings, Sister Aisha. And as a member of the Executive Council,
dear brother.
Greetings. As a member of the Executive Council, please further explain your role.
Thank you, dear brother. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has assembled us, not as individuals, but as constituent parts of a whole. We have his beautiful example of unconditional love and service to and for our people wherever they may be found, regardless of our condition. As the mosque is a place to come for repair, there are various ministries that we have that address the needs and concerns of all of our people. But this particular area focuses on addressing what is referred to as mental health. We've suffered abuses of every kind, and some of us may not even be conscious of what the mind has so skillfully buried. And those incidences have a great impact on how we think, how we treat others, how we act, and how we react when something comes up that resembles or reminds us of someone or something. So sometimes we're not even conscious until a sound or a smell or a word brings up a feeling of discomfort, anxiety, or pain that we yet don't have a handle on. But as an injured people for whom trauma is a constant companion, remediation for our condition is at the root of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But unfortunately, dear brother and audience, many of us have dark secrets that have scarred us very deeply. Much of what we carry is generational trauma that nobody dares to talk about. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan pointed us to something in 2010 that addresses all of that to help our people I oversee. It's a free service to help us face the difficulties associated with the past pain. They may haunt us today and cause us shame and embarrassment, and may even drive some of us to depression, to self-medicate, or overcompensate in some way in our behavior, or even disfigure our bodies or eat excessively just to try to push down or numb the pain. As a member of the Executive Council, I have a responsibility to communicate to the Council without breaking confidences anything that's brought to my attention from these cadre of auditors as a common concern that may need to be addressed and decided upon by the Shura Council. This is a big subject that I hope that I was able to adequately summarize in these few minutes. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you. Brother Ahmed Muhammad, member of the Nation of Islam with a bachelor's degree in communication. In 2004, became the student minister of information and member of the Executive Council, with the primary function being the management of talented teams in the area of information technology, webcasting, and the general online presence of the Nation of Islam through its various official websites, social media, and online platforms. He is also one of the sons of the Most Honorable Elijah and Mother Tainetta Muhammad. Brother, what say you this morning as the Minister of Communications?
Thank you, Brother Eddie Green. Brother Eddie Reed, sorry.
Okay. That's all right.
My apologies.
Go right ahead.
Brother Eddie Reed. The Ministry of Information is one of 9 ministries established by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Among those are the Ministry of Agriculture, Education, Health, Trade and Commerce, Defense, Justice, Arts and Culture, and Science and Technology. And you can find more about this on our website at noi.org. You can find more information about the ministries and much, much more information about the Nation of Islam. When it comes to the Ministry of Information, as the mission statement, it is the central agency which provides services that include the development of all sources for informing the public of the policies, plans, and strategies necessary for the free flow and accessibility of information essential to an informed and empowered citizenry. This includes collection, research, and dissemination of current events, history, analysis, the publication of books, pamphlets, magazines, and use of the internet and social media. It is also responsible for the development of information systems and networks to secure internal and external communications, media program development and management, and establishment of an Office of Media Affairs and Press Secretary. Thank you again, Brother Eddie Reed.
All of your names, Sister Amina, so that I don't get it incorrectly. I bet Sister has been in the Nation of Islam since the early 90s, but she became familiar with the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad when she was about 12 years old. She says that she used to listen to the radio broadcast from the final call when she was a preteen. She started working with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan almost immediately after joining the nation. She worked in different capacities, and today she says, I am Minister Farrakhan's Executive Administrative Assistant, but have many duties and functions, one of which is being a member of the Nation of Islam's Executive Council. What is it, Sister? And pronounce your name completely for us, the listening audience. What is it like to work for such a great man like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan?
Yes, sir. Thank you. My name is Sister Amina Bayina Muhammad, and it is an absolute blessing, although it can be stressful. But in truth, it is wonderful to know that you have such an opportunity to help a man of such great significance whose whole being is for the liberation and upliftment of our people. It seems today that so many of our people do not fully recognize that we are still in a struggle for our complete and total freedom. The resurrection of our people is the reason why Allah God, who came to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom we in the nation serve and believe in, came to North America. And working with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we have the chance to learn from his exquisite example. We are truly blessed to be able to bear witness to the perfect practice of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through him, and it is one of the best teachings anyone could receive.
Thank you, my dear sister. We're going to take a break, and when we come back from the break, we will be talking to Brother Wesley Muhammad, Executive Council member.
More of The Morning Show coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Chicago, good Monday morning right now on the Stevenson. Tri-State to DuSable Lakeshore Drive, a 36-minute ride inbound between First Avenue and Kedzie, stop and go. The Dan Ryan 95th to downtown, a 25-minute trip, and I-57, I-80 to the Ryan, looking at a 21-minute trip if you're on the Bishop Ford, 18 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan, and a 14-minute ride on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, Hollywood to Monroe. Your weather for today, sunny skies, a high of 76, breezy conditions. Tonight, a low of 49, and tomorrow, a high of only 55. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1690 WVON.
You're listening to The Morning Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back and we're moving very quickly. Let me make sure the audience gets what's happening here today. This is the very first time that the Executive Council is being introduced outside of the Nation of Islam. This is a very significant moment. Let's go back very quickly now to the next member of the Executive Council, Brother Wesley Muhammad. Brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad has been a registered member of the Nation of Islam for exactly 30 years this month. He's a student minister and is blessed to have been appointed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 2016 to sit on the Executive Council. And he has the privilege of serving on the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's research team. Brother Wesley studied religious studies at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and achieved a doctorate degree in Islamic studies from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. He's published in numerous peer-reviewed journals and anthologies, and is the author of several books, including Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity, which documents the social, religious, and scientific efforts to human the Black male in America. My question for you, what role does a scholar and a historian of religion play in a religious body such as the Nation of Islam? Greetings, Dr. Brother Wesley Muhammad.
Greetings to you, dear Brother Eddie Reed, and thank you for having me and us and our leader, the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, on this platform. The Islam taught to us by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Brother Eddie, it's not a religious doctrine, as most people understand that term. You know, faith and facts are often conflicting realities or are in opposition. You know, don't disturb my faith with your facts. It's the general sentiment. The Islam of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is actually a verifiable body of knowledge, a teaching in which there is no conflict between what we believe and what the facts on the ground allow us to verify as true. In fact about it, dear brother, the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad can be demonstrated as true in no limit of time. I have been afforded the profound privilege by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan of producing scholarship on behalf of my nation that demonstrates this. That when it comes to the Islam of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there is no unbridgeable gap between the faith and the facts. And I'm thankful to Allah for the privilege.
All right. Thank you, brother. Brother Leonard Muhammad. Brother Leonard Muhammad joined the Nation of Islam over 40 years ago and immediately became a member of the Nation of Islam's executive staff under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He's honored to be chosen by Minister Louis Farrakhan as a member of the Executive Council. Brother Muhammad was given the task and honor of representing the Nation of Islam and Minister Farrakhan in the efforts to purchase historic properties of the nation that were initially acquired by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Successful efforts included acquiring the National House in Chicago, Muhammad's Temple No. 2, now known as Mosque Mary Am, the place in Phoenix, Arizona, 1,500 acres of Muhammad's farm in Georgia. He was also instrumental in negotiating the acquisition of Michigan Farm in Buffalo, Michigan. Leonard Muhammad, with the help of Sister Donna Farrakhan, created and manufactured clean and fresh personal care products under the inspiration of the minister, and collaborated with the Wellington Group in the creation of the marketing initiative, quote, Power at Last and Forever, close quote. Mr. Muhammad served as Chief of Staff of the Nation of Islam and was also a part of the delegation of the 3 world tours meeting with the heads of states and government leaders. Brother Muhammad was present at the first meeting of the historic African Union Peace Mission to the Sudan and Africa. He also co-chaired the reunion for Minister Louis Farrakhan and Betty Shabazz, Sister Betty Shabazz, at the Apollo Theater and co-chaired the Million Man March. Brother Leonard Muhammad holds a Bachelor of Degree and is known as a community activist, a consultant in the field of politics and entertainment, and is an advisor to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Your question, brother, is how does Minister Farrakhan differ from other Black leaders that you have known?
Yes, thank you, Eddie, and thank you, WVON, Melody, Stan Cooper, for once again allowing the Nation of Islam to come on this platform to speak to our people. The minister, to me, the number one difference is his love and his humility. And I believe, in my opinion, that his love and his humility is a great part of what produced the success of the Million Man March. As you remember, Eddie, and being a part of it yourself, of the march, that the minister allowed so many people to feel a sense of ownership in that march. Nobody felt that it was the personal endeavor of Louis Farrakhan. He made sure that everybody felt that they found their way to feel a sense of ownership. He allowed so many people on that day, as you know, to speak and share the microphone. At the end of the march effort, on the stage in Washington, as I remember, it was a who's who, Black America, who came to that march. Men, women, and youth. So I credit him with that, and as a leader, as an example for us. If you want to be loved, you have to exhibit love to our people. And that's the reason, in my judgment, that the minister is such a magnet, and he always is well received without regard for religion. He's very well received all over the world. So I thank Minister Farrakhan for what he means to me and what he means to Black people here in America and people of goodwill throughout the world. Thank you for the question, Eddie.
Well, thank you, Brother Leonard. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll come back and speak to Brother Abdul.
See some of the performances. The studio.
I'm Candace McCollum, and here's what's happening in your news. Mayor Lightfoot is taking actions to prevent violence in downtown Chicago. The mayor announced she's banning unaccompanied minors from Millennium Park after 6 p.m. from Thursday through Sunday. This new policy will be strictly enforced. The mayor announced that measure after a 16-year-old boy was shot and killed near the Bean on Saturday night. Large crowds in the downtown area led to more than 24 arrests over the weekend. In other news, a longtime Chicago police officer is entering the city's mayor race again. Officer Frederick Collins announced yesterday his second run for mayor. He joins a growing list of candidates looking to unseat Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Alderman Raymond Lopez, businessman Willie Wilson, and State Representative Cam Buckner are also running. Collins previously ran for mayor in 2015, but withdrew from the ballot after facing a challenge to his nominating petitions. And Governor Pritzker has signed legislation to crack down on retail thefts. Illinois is working on cracking down on a nationwide rise in coordinated retail thefts. Those who knowingly engage with others in a theft valued at $300 or more will be guilty of a Class 3 felony. And those who engage in retail theft from one or more establishments will be guilty of a Class 2 felony. I'm Candace McCollum, and that's what's happening in your news now on 1690 WVON.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday morning, another day, another blessing, Chicago. Right now for your update, we begin on the Bishop Ford, 8094 to the Ryan, a 21-minute trip. Right now, if you're on I-57, I-80 to the Ryan, a 20-minute ride, we do have stop-and-go traffic inbound between 115th and the Dan Ryan. Right now on the Dan Ryan, 95th to downtown, 23 minutes stop-and-go inbound between 95th and 69th. And if you're on the Stevenson, Tri-State 2, DuSable Lakeshore Drive, 37 minutes. Your weather for today, a beautiful day, Chicago. Breezy conditions, a high of 76 degrees and partly sunny. Tonight, a low of 49. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show on 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back. This is your brother Eddie Reed, this historical day of introducing the Executive Council to not only the listening audience of WVON, but all over the world. Let's go back very quickly now. Brother Abdul Arif Muhammad. Brother Abdul Muhammad was blessed to meet the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a college student in 1979 and became one of his followers and student helpers in the ministry. He graduated from Howard University School of Law in the early 80s. He served as a general counsel for the Nation of Islam for 32 years. He has been honored to be appointed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to serve as a member of the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam. Brother, can you share with our listening audience some of your observations as student helper of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and a member of the Executive Council? What say you?
Thank you, Brother Eddie Reed. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Words are inadequate to express my gratitude to Almighty God for the blessing of meeting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He is a man who puts his complete trust in Allah God and his teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we as a people have been the beneficiaries of his demonstrated love for us. In the Bible, Jesus is asked, "What is the greatest commandment?" He answered, "To love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength." He then said, "The second is like unto the first, to love your neighbor as yourself." The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has lived his life based on these principles to serve God. And the love for his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, moved him and inspired him to continue his mission and rebuild the Nation of Islam and to reestablish the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He has put his life on the line to serve his people and all oppressed humanity. As a result, the consciousness of Black America has elevated. He has taught and inspired us who sit on the council to this same commitment to love God and to serve the people of God and oppressed humanity. My responsibilities as general counsel are to provide legal guidance, advice, and defense to protect our nation. We are forever grateful to God for giving to us the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Sister Ava Muhammad. Sister Ava Muhammad is the official national spokesperson for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Prior to her current position, the minister appointed her to the first Muslim woman in modern history to occupy a position of authority over a mosque, serving as the nation's southern regional minister. She's traveled throughout the United States and around the globe, delivering and defending the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, named by Essence Magazine as one of the most, quote, 30 most powerful Black women in America, close quote. Sister Ava is also an attorney. She served as lead counsel for Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam in major litigation, including Farrakhan v. Reagan and Farrakhan v. The New York Post. She's hosted a popular weekly program, Elevated Places, on WVON Radio and currently on Blog Talk Radio. Sister Ava has assisted the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in developing several of his significant works, including his monumental course of study, Self-Improvement, the Basic for Community Development, and the Nation of Islam's Provincial Constitution. In 2018 and 2019, she led a series of town hall meetings across America entitled, quote, The Black Man and Woman Must Consider Separation, close quote, and continues to spearhead Project Separation. Sister, you are a Black Muslim woman, a wife, mother, and grandmother. What is the significance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's appointment of a woman as minister over a mosque?
Thank you, Brother Eddie, and thank you for your dedicated service to our community. The prophetic Jesus of the Bible was a revolutionary in the liberation of the woman. In the major religions of the world, Christianity, Judaism, as well as Islam, sexism has been pervasive for centuries. Even now, though women head countries, run major businesses, are in every profession you can think of, the presence of women in pulpits and on rostrums remains rare. Today, in the fullness of time, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the spiritual global leader fulfilling the prophecy of a messianic figure at the forefront of restoring honor, respect, and the right perception of the female, who is the second self of the Creator. Here are Minister Farrakhan's precise words, quote, Minister Ava's appointment to head the mosque in teaching and administration is a sign now of a new rulership. It is time now for the female to come out into God's new world, as well as master the home, and to bring forth a brand new civilization, a sign of the irreversible will of Allah God, that nothing Satan can do will alter the establishment of God's will. The woman can come out now because Satan's power over her is waning. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Brother Abdul Rauf Muhammad. Brother Abdul has served as student chief of protocol for 13 years since May of 2009. Every nation has to interact with other nations. All sovereign states have diplomatic relations with other nations. Brother Abdul Rauf coordinates. Brother, I've got a feedback. Abdul Rauf coordinates the activities of over 70 student protocol directors in cities throughout America, whose functions are to go out to meet and establish relationships with important and influential dignitaries in their cities on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the minister of their cities. Brother Abdul Rauf Muhammad has facilitated meetings with pastors, dignitaries in Chicago and other cities to meet the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to consider possible ways to work together for the improved conditions of our people. My dear brother, what is the greatest satisfaction you get in serving?
We only had 3 minutes.
As student minister. Go right ahead. Brother Abdul.
Thank you, Brother Eddie Reed. Thank you so much for having the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his executive council on this show. I'm honored to have been appointed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as the Student Chief of Protocol and as a member of the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam. My greatest satisfaction in my post is witnessing the transformation of a young man or woman who accepts the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. As a host who receives and seats a person who comes to the mosque for the first time, I am blessed to observe the positive change of an individual that returns weekly to hear more of the life-giving teachings. A teaching that gives the person the desire and the power to change their life for the better. It is a joy to witness over and over the powerful teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as it transforms a person from a mentally and spiritually dead state to a new, constructive life, free of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, fornication, and wrongdoings. This process we refer to as the resurrection of the dead. Thank you, Brother Eddie, for your question.
Thank you, brother. Sister Naima Muhammad, an abiding principle of the Nation of Islam is that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. As such, women have a vital role in its success. Sister Naima Muhammad serves as the Student National MGT and GCC Captain of the Nation of Islam. She was appointed to her post on March 30th, 2010 by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Under his guidance and leadership, Sister Naima Muhammad is vested with the power and authority to ensure the proper growth, development, teachings, and training of women and girls. She accomplishes this awesome responsibility by assisting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in directing the class for women and girls, which was established to educate, empower, and elevate women and girls toward attaining the height of their God-given potential. Her work is not just the membership of the Nation of Islam, but encompasses all women and girls among our people and humanity worldwide. Sister Naima Muhammad works tirelessly to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as he works to establish a world of freedom, justice, and equality. Sister Naima, in your role as the Student National MGT Captain of the Nation of Islam, give us your thoughts.
Thank you, Brother Eddie. So in the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we are taught that the hallmark of civilization is, in fact, the woman. This means that the woman is the very standard by which civilization is measured. So if you want to determine the success or failure of a civilization, just take a look at the condition of the female of that society. So what is civilization? Civilization means one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not savage, the pursuit of happiness. So in the nation, it is our aim to establish the righteous kingdom of God here on earth, distinguished by the highest manifestation of civilized society. And since civilization is mocked by the woman, then we as women are to represent the pinnacle of civilized behavior. We must represent the supreme manifestation of civilization. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, and I quote, he said that the women in Islam are the most important work for the messenger in the nation. Anything that corrupts the woman, anything that makes an improper use of woman is destructive to the national aim of God and his Christ, because their aim is that we must become a new people. And we can never become a new people and new creatures unless we have a new woman. And we cannot have a new woman without a new mind in that woman. And that mind that is being offered to the woman today is the mind of God himself, end quote. So I have the distinct honor and privilege of serving as the Student National MGT, Captain of the Nation of Islam, under the direction and guidance and leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is the head of the class, to help teach and train women in a class that would ensure our proper growth and the development in establishing the kingdom of God. The basis of this class, which is called Muslim Girls Training in General Civilization class, are 7 training units that have been divinely crafted to bring us to the height of civilization. These training units, which include how to keep house, how to rear our children, how to take care of our husbands, how to sew, how to cook, how to act at home, and how to act abroad, are all manifestations of degrees of civilization. These classes serve as the foundation, the base from which we as women can spring forth as high as our God-given talents may take us. So my role is to help us as women to begin to understand our true divine nature and function based on the teachings and training of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So to put it briefly, this is how I currently serve as a helper to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and service to our people. Thank you so much for listening to these few words.
Thank you, my sister. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back, hear from Brother Saad Aleem Muhammad, and we'll close out this hour. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
You're listening to The Morning Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Enter your vehicle ID info, answer some questions, then get a no-obligation offer to sell or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car, schedule a time, and drive away with confidence. For all of the it's, KBB.com it.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday morning. The time now is 7:51, and our update begins on the Eisenhower Wolf to the post office. A 51-minute trip. We are heavy inbound between Manheim and the Byrne Interchange. The Stevenson Tri-State to DuSable Lakeshore Drive. A 37-minute ride in the Dan Ryan 95th to downtown, clocking in at 27 minutes. Your weather for today, a high of 76 degrees and partly sunny. Breezy conditions tonight, a low of 49. And tomorrow, a cool down, a high of 55. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1690 WVON.
Now back to the morning show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back. We go now to Brother Saad Aleem Muhammad. Brother Saad Aleem Muhammad, formerly known as Vervi Power Muhammad, is a native of Chicago. He attended Lindblom High School and went on to Morehouse College, where he joined the Nation of Islam in 1994 at the age of 19. He became the Nation of Islam Student Association spokesman during his senior year. He then returned to Chicago, where he attended DePaul University College of Law and graduated in 1998. He passed the bar exam and immediately began practicing law under the tutelage of his late uncle, attorney Robert C. Power, and the late great attorney Louis Myers Jr., who served as Minister Farrakhan's personal attorney. Brother Saad took over his uncle's law firm, Power and Dixon, in 2002 and began expanding the firm from an approximately 600 square feet law office to approximately 3,000 square feet law office with 3 years, and it eventually became the second largest Black-owned law firm in Chicago. In August of 2008, he opened their second office in Rockford, Illinois. And in December 2008, Brother Saad invited the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to visit his downtown office. Within 72 hours of that visit, Minister Farrakhan asked him to serve as the Student National Secretary of the Nation of Islam, which he accepted. He has served in his capacity for 14 years. In this capacity, he's responsible for overseeing, managing, and conserving the financial and real estate assets of the Nation of Islam in the more than 130 cities around the world. My dear brother, how did being a lawyer prepare you to serve as the National Secretary of the Nation of Islam? Go right ahead, my brother.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you to Melody and the VON family, and even to Cliff Kelly, who is not on the show anymore, but on the radio station. But we thank him for all that he has done. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. Brother Eddie, one thing I'm learning more and more is how far in advance Allah arranges affairs. When I was at managing the firm of Power and Dixon, still am, we call it the oldest Black-owned law firm in America, but I wanted to make it the largest in the history. And so we had opened our second office in Rockford, and I said to myself, I want to sit in my office in Chicago and see everything that's going on in all the law firms in Illinois. And we planned to have 13 offices by 2025. And I said, you know what? The minister needs something like this. He needs to be able to sit wherever he is and see what's going on in our nation. And I said, it should be called the Nations Program. And so the Nations Program grew out of the Power and Dixon Law Firm Office Manager Program. And so as a Student National Secretary, I signed almost all the contracts for the nation for all of our events and affairs. And so being an attorney, and being able to read the fine print is very helpful in doing that. So I'm very honored to serve. I thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Every day he allows me to serve. And I want to thank all the student regional secretaries who helped me in my responsibilities. Thank you so much, Brother Eddie, and thank you, WVON family.
Thank you, my brother. Now, the next member of the executive committee is Brother Mustafa Farrakhan. Brother Mustafa will not be speaking today, but here's his information. The son of First Lady Mother Khadija Farrakhan and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the national representative of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, was born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1961. He is the sixth of 9 children who was nurtured by his parents to love Almighty God Allah, who appeared in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, to love the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and to love the Nation of Islam. In February 2000, Mustafa Farrakhan was appointed Student Supreme Captain of the Nation of Islam. He served faithfully in this capacity for over 22 years. He aids his father in every major endeavor the nation is blessed to undergo. He oversees the military operation and propagandation of the faith through the Final Call newspaper. He manages the national training of the men, the Fruit of Islam, as well as many other facets this post is responsible for. He also serves as a member of the Executive Council. A man of principle, he has been married to his love of his life, Karen Farrakhan, for over 39 years, and they have 5 beautiful children and 13 grandchildren. I might also add that one of his sons excelled in athleticism down at the University of Virginia. I know a little bit about that, being from Virginia. Family, what an honor, and to the Executive Council to introduce you to the world through the WVON platform, and to all of our listening audience. We know that our brother is not the Lone Ranger. We damn sure know that. But it is an honor to meet his team and to meet the council that works with brother every day to help shape policies and to help shape all of the agendas that will help move our people forward and empower. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back from the break, none other than our spiritual leader, our teacher, our father, our big brother, the man of Allah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
I'm Candace McCollum, and here are your news headlines. Lightfoot bans unaccompanied minors from Millennium Park. CPD Officer Collins announces bid for mayor, and Pritzker signs bill to crack down on coordinated retail thefts. We will have details on these stories and more coming up. I'm Candace McCollum on the Voice of a Nation and the Talk of Chicago. WVON 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago.
This report is brought to you by Audible. This spring, let Audible bring a smile with comedy, sci-fi, thrillers, or whatever you love listening to. From audiobooks to exclusive originals to podcasts, find it all on Audible. Sign up and start free at audible.com. This report is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more. May is Health Awareness Month.
To supercharge your well-being, practice kindness. Study after study attests to the power of caring for others. Acts of kindness to others gives us a bigger well-being boost than acts of self-care.
Today's Healthy Reminder is brought to you by Walgreens. Here's what you listeners are saying about Perry Small and the Midday Show.
Let's go to Mike. Mike, you're on WVON. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You talked about a lot of great things today. I really enjoyed your conversation today.
Oh,
that's all I wanted to say. You're a great woman. I love listening to you in the morning.
Oh, thank you, Mike. That was so nice of you.
And I hate when I miss you.
All right, then. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. You guys are really so nice to me.
Perry Small, weekdays at 9 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
GMC continues its commitment to professional-grade engineering in the GMC Truck Series, like offering the world's first available 6-function multi-pro tailgate on Sierra. This tailgate takes innovation to the next level with 6 distinct functions that let you load, unload, and access the cargo box quicker and easier. Try the GMC Canyon with powerful and innovative features, engineered and built for all your adventures to come. Or get behind the wheel of the GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. The Sierra Heavy Duty pickup takes technology and safety to the next level, delivering a premium driving experience. The list goes on, but it's more than just innovative engineering. It's knowing GMC is committed to professional-grade excellence on every level. We are professional-grade GMC. Well-qualified buyers step up to GMC with 0% APR financing on Sierra models. See your local GMC dealer today. Length of contract limited. Some customers will not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 5/31/22.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept, and to help you get almost 30 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed Queen, only $19.99, plus free premium home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Expedient Tax Service. We do taxes nationwide. We create solutions for your tax problems. Expedient Tax Service.
Expedient Tax Service, 1533 Northwestern Avenue. We do taxes nationwide. We create solutions for any tax problems. What we offer? Get a free estimate today. We offer cash advances up to $6,000. Our new tax app allows you to have your taxes done from the comfort of your own home. Download now and receive 20% off. Maximum refund guaranteed. Expedient Tax is all you need. Get the Expedient experience. Open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call 773-413-8291.
Expedient Tax Service.
This commercial endorsed by Phil Davis.
Coming in at 5'3", it's number one mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom! Shakalaka! That's why they call her the Master of Moolah, the Sultan of Savings, the Queen of Cash. And now, also with Xfinity Internet, you can get unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment, and a free Flex 4K streaming box included with a 2-year rate guarantee and no term contract. All for just $30 per month when you add an Xfinity mobile plan at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New fast internet 300 megabits per second customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
This report is brought to you by News Nation. Wake up with America's best new morning show. Join Adrian Bankert for Morning in America. Weekdays at 7, 6 Central on News Nation. Go to newsnationnow.com/join us to find your television provider.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday morning. Right now, if you're on the Dan Ryan 95th to downtown, 25 minutes in the local lanes, inbound between 51st and Burn Interchange. Stop and go traffic. I-57, I-80 to the Ryan. You're looking at an 18-minute trip Right now on the Bishop Ford, 8094 to the Ryan, clocking in at 19. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, Hollywood to Monroe, 11 minutes. Right now on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, northbound between the Stevenson and Jackson, we do have heavy traffic. And Eden's Lake Cook to Montrose, a 21-minute trip. A high of 76 degrees and partly sunny, breezy conditions. Tonight, a low of 49. That was an update on traffic and weather on 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Staples Stores. Staples is your shipping solution for small business with packing and shipping supplies and services. Get 15% off UPS Ground and 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Offer ends 5/28. Visit staplesconnect.com/services/shipping for details. If you need to ship, ship at Staples. From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the morning show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, family, we're back. Now, in keeping with protocol, I want to introduce this brother, member of the Executive Council, and brother will bring on Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brother Ishmael Muhammad. Brother Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad has the honor and privilege of serving as the Student National Assistant Minister to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He served in that capacity as a student minister for 31 years. He's humbled to be one of the sons of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Sister Tanetta Muhammad. Brother Ishmael Muhammad, and then you will bring on our big brother, as you have done on many occasions. Brother Ishmael?
Yes, sir. My beautiful brother, Eddie. Thank you so much for having us on your show this morning. We want to thank you for always being a wonderful brother, friend, and supporter of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we appreciate, Brother Eddie, your long commitment to the liberation struggle for our people, and we will always be grateful for the key role you played as a key member of the local organizing committee for the historic Million Man March. I am always deeply honored to have the pleasure of introducing the minister, but this is your show, Eddie, and I think that it is only proper and fitting for you to introduce to our listening audience our beautiful Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I would just say this, Brother Eddie, what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has done in establishing an executive council, as it was said earlier, follows the pattern and directives of governance given by God. And historically speaking, Brother Eddie and dear listeners, we know that where Black leadership and organizations are concerned, every Black leader and organization that was systematically destroyed by the satanic forces of the United States government were unable to enjoy continuity after the leader was off the scene, so that those organizations could realize the attainable goal of the movement that the leaders started. So what the minister has done in establishing a Shura executive council ensures that the liberation struggle and the movement for justice, freedom, and equality, and the total liberation of our people is not interrupted through counsel. So, Brother Eddie, thank you, but I would defer that honor to you because you have been so gracious and kind in the WVON family to bring us on this morning. So I'm going to defer that responsibility to you, my big brother and friend. Thank you.
Well, it is indeed a responsibility and an honor. And what I want to say at this point, because I want to get out the way, I want to thank my big brother, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, for all the times in Brother Lou Palmer's, as Hakeem would call, declining years. Brother Hakeem Abudi would say that. When Brother Farrakhan would come and sit with Brother Lou Palmer, just sit quietly. And oh boy, to hear that conversation. He sat with him quietly at the Rehabilitative Institute. He sat with him privately at his home. And so I just want to get out the way and say this spiritual leader, this international giant, this man of God, this soldier of Allah, Assalamu alaikum, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You got the mic, bro.
The liberation struggle, the movement for justice, freedom, and equality.
Brother Minister?
Our people is not interrupted.
I can't really hear him, brother.
I'm on.
Okay, go right ahead, brother. Go right ahead, Brother Farrakhan.
It's on here. It's delayed. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, brother. How are you, my big brother?
I'm your little brother servant. I'm honored to be a part of your show, and I want to thank you on behalf of the Nation of Islam and the Executive Council for allowing us this privilege to be presented to our people and all those who might hear as a representative of the teachings and the program and the principles of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We refer to Elijah Muhammad as the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam. My God, what must he know? And who is he that he would be the eternal leader? When we truly understand, Brother Eddie, what is written in the Bible, Quran, of this man that is called Jesus, and this man that is called Muhammad, and the title of Mahdi and Messiah, these titles are so big because the work that God assigns to the Mahdi or the Christ figure is so great that it represents eternal governance. In the book of Isaiah, the 9th chapter, the 6th verse, it says, "For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and he shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Prince of Peace, the Everlasting Father, and of the increase of his government of peace there shall be no end." We are at the end of Satan's world. We are at the end of a world of hatred and corruption and debauchery and filth and rebellion to the way and life and law of God. We always think of law as something that confines us, and it does. But Jesus represented law at the highest manifestation. When he said, love God first. And that is the first cardinal principle of the Executive Council and the members of the Nation of Islam. We love Allah, God, first, with all, listen to this, all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. We pledge allegiance to nothing or no one but God. We respect the flag of the nation in which we live. We honor that flag, and we honor the independent people who are the former slave masters of our fathers. But we do not wish to govern as they govern. We do not wish to govern and guide our people as white America would make us and has made us into themselves. Jesus did not want his disciples to reflect the governance of Rome or the hypocrisy of the rabbinical class of the Jewish people of his day. Neither do we. We don't want to look like the enemy in ruling our people. We don't want to be like the enemy in the way he rules, nor do we want to act as though we own the house of God. If it is God's house, it should be governed in according to God's rule and law. So the second commandment, he said, love your neighbor as yourself. On these two hang all the law and the prophets. So this is who the Nation of Islam is. We are not like the average church. We believe that Christ is real. And Christ is, in his function, the crusher of wickedness. He comes at the end of the world of Satan. He comes at the end of the present world to introduce a new world and to set down the corrupt governments and people of this world. This is why war and destruction is on the horizon, because this got to end. It's got to be finished. The lying, the deceiving, the hypocrisy has got to end. And in the Nation of Islam, everyone that you heard this morning on this Executive Council that I have personally chosen. Oh, you did? Yes. I was personally chosen by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because in me he heard himself. He heard his message coming through me clearly, not adding to or taking away from, like this is some personal fiefdom of Louis Farrakhan. I am an extension of Elijah Muhammad, who we believe is the Jesus that every one of us have fallen in love with and have wanted to live under Jesus and follow Jesus and be made into Jesus, so that each one of us who follow Jesus become saviors under his saving grace and power. So everyone that you heard this morning, thank you, Eddie Reed. We have committed our lives to the Messiah, to the Mahdi, to God in person. We live his life. That is what a disciple is. We can't say we're disciples of Jesus Christ and we have not disciplined ourselves to what he taught and the example of his life. This is why I don't mean to run on, Eddie, but I just want to finish this point, and then you may ask me a question as you see fit. This point is this. Jesus taught how to govern at the Last Supper. Man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth from the mouth of God. Jesus spoke what God commanded him to speak. Jesus did what God commanded him to do. He's the perfect example of leadership because he does not lead on his own. He leads by God's grace and permission. So it was and so it is with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So people say, well, you got to have one man. You can't have a group of people. Yeah, the group of people is one. Allah uses the term we in the Holy Quran more than he uses the personal pronoun I. And until we learn our responsibility as Muslims or Christians is not to talk about I, talk about we in the submission to the will of God. And so what you met this morning were men and women. You didn't meet their staffs. They came to me, some of them as teenagers. I'm an old man now, by the grace of God. And these are getting old that you heard today. They're in their 40s and 50s and 60s. So, they're up in age, but they are rooted in the law and teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's why I chose them to be on his council, so that he is on the council. I represent him. And whenever I stand in front of that council, they can look at me and look past me and see and feel the spirit of the man I represent, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, a man taught by God and wisdom revealed to him from God that was kept from the wise and the prudent men of this world and revealed unto babes. And we are the babes that have been blessed to receive the wisdom, guidance, and love, perfect love of God. And this is what we represent, Brother Eddie. So I ask all of these that will accept to help me. I want to know what you think about Elijah Muhammad. I want to know how deep are you committed to the word and the work that that man has taught us. Because I have submitted myself totally to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I can say to them like Jesus said to Philip, when Philip said, Master, when will we see the Father? And Jesus said to Philip, have not I been among you this long, and you have not seen him? When you see me, you see the Father. For I am in the Father, and the Father is in me. Me and my Father are one. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to me long before he left us, I want your mind. I want you to line your mind up with my mind, that it will be one mind. And my mind is lined up with his mind today. And when you see me, when you hear me, you hear him, you see him. Nothing is Lewis. Everything is Elijah. Everything is Jesus. Everything is Mahdi. Because that's who I represent.
Brother,
and
let me...
So, beloved, thank you.
No, thank you.
For allowing me this privilege.
Thank you, my dear brother. And let me just say this to you. First of all, happy anniversary of your 89th birth on May 11th. And we can see why Allah has kept you here. I would suggest to you, you're not an old man, you're a seasoned man. And
I like that word.
I
like that word, Brother Eddie.
There's a difference, brother. There's a difference between being seasoned and being old. Brother, what say you to what's going on in the village now? And we have some of our brothers out there. I know this brother, and I'll just say this, people gonna get mad, but I see Brother Tyrone Muhammad and HCCSC. I see others out there. And what say you about anyone who's out there that you see doing the work? But more importantly, what do you say to our young brothers and to the men? It was an honor to be with you years ago when you went around the country on the men's tour. What say you to the village, my dear brother?
In the village, there are those who have studied of some of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Some of them learned of him in prison, and they disciplined themselves according to their understanding of his teachings. And some of us are difficult to mold and shape in terms of following structure, disciplining our lives to structured living. Some may call it slavery. But that's a misunderstanding of Islam. A man is not a Muslim. A woman is not a Muslim until we submit our will to do the will of God. So when you are one with God, that's how he comes into your life. That's how you become one with him. But you got to submit first. Everybody wants a page set out for them. Everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants the love that belongs to God. Everybody wants to share the praise that belongs to God. But when you know God and he shares with you his greatness, then you must never show yourself to be an arrogant man or what we call in the Quran the jackass carrying a book. The jackass is a jackass. But you can load him down with books. But when he gets to the destination, he's still a jackass because he has not learned how to read and refuses to discipline himself to the master teacher. And when we fall out, we still got knowledge and we're responsible. The brothers out there that have knowledge, you have responsibility to teach what you know, but you should live according to what you teach. Otherwise, you can be classified as a hypocrite.
My. 773.
I live what I teach. I die and I live on what I teach. That's why people know, Farrakhan, I will never sell you out. I don't care what the world does to me. If it kills me tomorrow, I will die an honorable death, that I never deceived my brothers and sisters or lied to them about anything when it comes to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I'm committed to this. And I say to those in the village, do your job. Teach the people what you know, but don't teach them to use them. Don't teach them to abuse them. Don't teach them to fatten your wallet and then do nothing in service to the whole. Do you know, Eddie, all the buildings that we had that were lost when the Imam Warithuddin Muhammad took over the nation, everything that Elijah Muhammad built went in that direction. I started with nothing. Mm-hmm. I didn't even have his files or letters that he wrote to the many people that he taught all over the world to be guided from. Nobody that was his secretary that took notes from him came and said, Brother Farrakhan, here, let me share this with you. No. I had a few faithful ones from Elijah Muhammad, but most of the students are dead or in the street, but they're not helping me.
773-591-1690. Now, let me give you some instructions, family. The executive producer staff is going to screen your calls. Those of you who want to make a comment or you want to ask a question, be succinct and be specific. We don't get access to our big brother very often. I don't know when he has been. It's been quite some time, Brother Minister, all the way back to our brother Cliff Kelly, since you've been on this radio station. And it is an honor to chop it up with you, as the young people say. And
it's true.
Yes, sir.
My teacher don't want me to be arguing with our people.
That's right, brother.
I have lived in front of you all these years and have taught for all these years. And I don't come on the radio to argue with you.
That's right.
I will not disrespect you or myself by arguing with you. So I don't come on the radio anymore. I have taught you well by the grace of God. Millions of words now are out there for us to feed on. So I want to see now a new generation rise in that word, and they're coming up fast. Every one of these that you heard, including Brother Student Minister Ishmael, he's got a cadre of young ministers, male and female, studying now and growing in the study. And so soon you will see them, soon you will hear them, and you will hear Elijah coming through them all, or they won't speak at all. I did not live my life and offer my life for wicked, corrupt people to come to me and say they want to help me, but they really want to help themselves and use my teacher's name to deceive the people. I will not have that, and we will not have that.
Brother
so
Minister,
I'll take a few questions.
Go right ahead, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Minister. My name is Brother Arthur 6X. I met with you once or twice. You came to the Pioneer Building. Me and my brother had a studio in the Pioneer Building and a hardware store. And you named my son because he was born on the 5th of October. My question to you, do you think that we need a universal community code of conduct to help govern our community internally that all parties involved can agree on?
Yes. we do need a universal code of conduct. One day, dear brother, I was with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he said, brother, what's the best religion? I said, why would he ask me a question like that? He's teaching me Islam. I didn't know what to answer, so I just said Islam. He didn't say yay, he didn't say nay, but here's what he said. The best religion is that you do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. If you look deep into that principle, which is called the golden rule in Christianity, and it exists in Islam, that you love for your brother what you love for yourself. You're not a Muslim until that is deep in your heart. If we accept to treat each other like we want to be treated, that universal code of conduct will guide our behavior, and our communities will change overnight into a productive community where you won't see the violence that you see. You won't see the hatred that you see. You won't see the debauchery that you see. But we must accept the will of God.
Brother Minister, we have Sister Anita, who has been screened by the producers. Sister Anita, what say you?
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. Minister Farrakhan, I did not know you was going to be on this radio. I thought this was a recording. I am so excited behind all the things that's happened, in the last few days. But my family, I married into a family that was actually in the Nation of Islam. They were the ones with the Omar on the Nile. So the Omar family. Yeah, I'm really excited about all of this. But what I want to ask you is, I keep hearing a conversation about you and the Jewish community. And I called WOL radio in Washington, D.C. last week, and I asked one of your head chief of your paper, I think that's what he was, and I was like, well, why do the Jewish community say that Minister Farrakhan is anti-Semitic when Abraham said you're supposed to submit to God, have obedience, and not sacrifice your children? And that's all you and Elijah Muhammad has ever taught was take care of your own. You're not to be mistreated. You are a slave only to God. So I'm trying to figure out I'm furious with the Jewish community for putting you silent, muting you, when you believe in the same God that they believe in. And I think you practice it very well. So what do you think about that?
Thank you, sister.
Well, thank you. I want to say this. No, we don't believe in the same God. That was the problem with the Jews 2,000 years ago and Jesus. They came to Jesus saying that God was their father. And Jesus said, well, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. But now you seek to kill me, a man that has told you the truth. I know you. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you shall do. He was a liar from the beginning and a murderer. We don't have the same God, nor do we have the same Father. If they showed up the love that they were taught by the prophets, we wouldn't have a problem. But the wiser ones of them used a knowledge that they came up with and tried to make the Talmud like the Torah. And in that, they deviated, and in that deviation, they have become the Lord and master of their own way of life and civilization. I have never hated Jews, never. And I don't hate them today, but if you come to me wrong,
That's right.
Don't expect me to be the Negro that scratches when he doesn't itch. I will deal with you according to the way you deal with me.
Yes, sir,
That
brother.
is my teaching from my father, Elijah Muhammad. I have Jews that have come and sat at my table, and I have sat at theirs. And the head of the board of rabbis, former head of the board of rabbis, said these words to me, Rabbi Solomon. He said, Farrakhan, it's not for you to criticize us. That's for me to do, not you. I said, my God, you mean to tell me if you've done wrong to me and my people, but I don't have a right to show you where you are wrong, then you call me an anti-Semite? No, I'm going to tell you who you are. You are anti-God, anti-truth, anti-justice, anti-equity, and you hate me because I expose you for the devil that you are.
Brother, we're going to go now to Brother Michael Muhammad. Brother Michael Muhammad, what say you?
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, Brother Minister. Good morning, brother. Brother Minister, I just have a question. I thank you so much for being a leader and a guide for me and my life. And I've been a member of the Nation of Islam, but I'm not in the ranks right now. My question to you will be, what guidance and instructions would you share with me and others that are, have the truth that you teach from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to make our way back inside the fold and to be helpful with the work of the Nation of Islam as we move forward?
Dear brother, you must look at what you've been taught. If what you've been taught is the truth, you are responsible for that truth that you know, that truth that you accepted, and you can be judged by that truth that you have accepted, but do not now wish to live. You cannot be a good example to your people if you say the right thing and yet do the wrong thing. You have power, dear brother, to bring your life into accord with what you know of the teachings. What you know is what you're responsible for. What you believe is what you're responsible for. And if you talk to the people out there who don't know anything of it, then talk to them as their brother. Teach them what you know, and then ask them to pardon you if you are not living as you teach. But you hope to get your life back together. And remember, wherever you are, you're in the ranks. You can never come out of the nation and say, you're not in the mosque, but you have never left the nation. You're in the nation, and you must behave as a creature of the Creator. We are the Creator's nation. So we've got to act in a certain way. We've got to live a certain way. And that's a sacrifice that you and I have to make in submission to the will of God. And you can do it. All you have to do is make up your mind that I'm not going to live like I used to live or live like I am living if I'm living contrary to the truth that I know. I'm going to make a change. And all of us have that right to make a change. And that change will benefit your family, your friends, and the entire community by the grace of God.
Brother Minister, you have spent a lot of time through the years and have two questions here. You spend a lot of time through the years speaking to our young people all over the country and all over the world. And I remember you bringing in the room some of the young people that people were either frightened of or ran away from. And so my two-part question is your message to the young that's out there today and to the family, to the Black family that seems to be under attack on so many levels. What say you, Brother Minister?
Thank you, Brother Eddie. Please excuse the passion of my voice. I haven't been on the radio in a long time, and I'm just so passionate over what I believe. I don't mean to offend anyone, but listen, my dear brother. Our youth are struggling against forces that are trying to shape them into instruments of death against themselves and the rise of their people. They are not the responsible party. They are the victims of smart, crooked deceivers who bring drugs into our community and cause our young people to sell them. Bring guns into our community and promote gang conflict and rejoice when we kill one another as we seem to be loving to do. I say this to our young. You will be punished today by God, who came to save us and make us love each other and be real, genuine brothers and sisters to one another. But if we're going to harm each other, kill each other, rape each other, rob each other, there's a chastisement that God is going to bring on you. And you'll know when you get it, you'll understand why you can't sleep at night. And when night comes, you wish for day. And when day comes, you wish for night. You'll be in constant misery. You'll want death, but death will run away from you because God is punishing you for what you know you did wrong, and then you refuse to change when the offer of change is given to you. So to my beloved young brothers, the enemy has fashioned you into an instrument of death. God wants to fashion you into an instrument of life that you can protect yourself against death and protect your people in the community from the death that comes from our ignorance and lack of love for self.
And to our family, brother?
Now, the family, oh, my family, you're all arguing with each other. Women arguing with the men, men arguing with the women. We're all at odds with each other. We're trying to show ourselves as not needing one another. Women today are so hurt over their relationship with men that has gone sour. And some women today said, to heck with it, I don't need a man in my life. I don't need him for sexual purposes. I can buy instruments to help me. I don't need you. But brothers and sisters, we are created by God to need one another. We are created by God to complement each other's nature. The woman is not the same as the man. The man is not the same as the woman. But when the woman is the woman of God and the man is the man of God, that man and that woman solve their problems create peace among themselves. I've been married to my wife's mother, Khadijah, for 68 long years. And I knew her when she was 8 and I was 11. And this is the honest to God truth. I love this girl so much that when I became so popular as a young musician in Boston, all the girls loved their Jean. Jean, what they called me, and they loved me. But I was in love with Betsy.
Go ahead, brother.
And so they liked me, and I liked them too. But when they see me with Betsy. They see me walking with Betsy. They see us dressing alike, walking in a way. When I say dress alike, I didn't put on no dress. Now.
We know that, brother. We know that.
But dressing alike, if I had on blue, my wife would have blue slacks and a white blouse, and I would have a white shirt or whatnot. And we had the same caps that I bought in Canada when I was playing up in Rockhead's Paradise in Montreal. And we were just a loving couple to be seen. Everybody wants to see love. And when two people are deeply in love and they walk down the street,
that's right.
You could be behind the curtain. You pull that curtain aside and look at them, look at them. Love is what we want to see. Love is what we got to be. I had a talk with Stevie the other day. He wished me happy birthday. And I said, Stevie, you're not of this world. Every time I hear you, you're talking about love. Every time you write a song, you're writing about love. And love is God himself. When you love, God is with you, not in a strange and wicked way, but love in the way that God loves. He gave you a nature. Be yourself. He gave you a sex. Learn to love who you are and then be you. Because you know what? Everything that God created, he created everything in pairs. I didn't know this until I read it in the Holy Quran. Grass is created in pairs. Every grass, not the same. There's a female grass and a male grass. I didn't know that. So grass keeps coming up. Every winter grass dies, but every spring, here it comes again. Why? Because the grass love each other. They know their function, and they taking care of function in business. You know, you look at the bees. I love bees. I don't want to be stung by them, but I love bees. And bees love each other. So when we see bees pollinate flowers. Bees pollinate plants and give us food. So nature has a purpose. And when we violate nature, we violate ourselves and we violate God. I want to be a good man. And I told my brother that's sitting here with me one day, I was riding in an old BMW. And he said, Minister, you've got such nice cars. Why you like to drive in this car? I said, brother, I don't want to be grand. I want to be good. I don't want you loving me because of a grand car that I drive or grand shoe that I wear. So I refuse now to wear jewelry. I don't want you looking at what's on my finger. I don't want you looking at, I want you to see me, of course. And if you see me looking good, praise be to God. But I want you to look at me and how I live. Look at how God has blessed me in the midst of the storm to weather the storms of life and the storms created by the enemy of our life. I am hated, but yet I am loved.
Brother
And
Minister,
so beloved. Yes.
The clock says we've got to go. And I hear you today saying love and humility. And I remember you coming to see Brother Lou Palmer in that 2-seater Mercedes-Benz. You just get in that and come to see our brother and sit with him. And I've joked with you through the years about being the sixth man on the bench while the brothers in the nation are the starting five. We love you. We honor you. We respect you. We appreciate you. And please, can we get you back to the mic again soon?
I'm going to pray on it. But I think, in truth, God has helped me to prepare such wonderful young people that are well versed in the teachings, and they are building their character to match the word. And what would please me so much is if you invite them. That's why when Brother Leonard said, well, Eddie's inviting us to be on his show, will you speak? I said, I'll speak after the council speaks.
Yes.
Because they are now the representative of God and the messenger and myself. And I'm so happy that I've been able, by God's grace, to form Jesus, to form the Christ in them. And that's why they, like I, can say, greater is he that is in me, than he that is in the world. So the world can't bother me. The world can say anything ugly they want to say. I just keep on keeping on. And thank you, Eddie, for continuing to lift up Lou and Georgia Palmer. Thank you for lifting up the people that have made it possible for us to be here today. Thank you for remembering the ancestors. And young people and family members, remember the ancestors. And when you think about what they went through for us to be here today, if you love them enough, you'll make them proud of your every word, of your every deed. I love you all. And Eddie Reed, I love you most of all because you loved us and shared your love. And, of course, VON. Thank you, VON, for allowing us the privilege of being with you this morning.
Well, I love you, brother.
I love you, too,
I love
sir.
you. And Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
All right, family. We've run out of time. That was awesome, as it usually is, to hear from our brother who has been in the vineyard. This is not a man you have to look for. This man has been very, very strongly and very, very obvious in our village. And we will get those young people to the mic. I talked to Brother Leonard on Saturday about men of the movement. We hear of the mothers of the movement, but the men of the movement. Black men, this is our season and our time. All right, we're out of here, family. Thank you.
I'm Candace McCollum, and here are your news headlines.